Hello everybody, you are tuned in to PE with Coach Matt. This is episode 7, and today I'm going to talk about forming the habit of exercising, and I'm also going to talk about the level 1 exercises in the balanced body system. Now, you may notice that this setup is a little bit different than in previous episodes, but I think this is going to work out really well. We'll try it out. You may also be asking yourself, wait a minute, we built up to level 5. Why are we going back to level 1? Well, the reason is that I'm building this program out in real time. So I'm finding that we actually need to go back to level 1 because there's some things that I skipped over. There are some aspects of the program that I didn't fully explain in episode 2 is when I went over the level 1 exercises. So we got to go back. There's some things that we really need to touch on. So habit forming and exercise. Whenever we're talking about exercise, we are probably concerned about how do we make it a regular part of our life? How do we form the habit of exercising? Well, this varies from person to person, and it's a really complicated topic, but I have some guidelines for you, some things to consider as you're looking to make exercise part of your lifestyle. So I like to break it down into 3 keys to forming the habit of exercising. The first is to identify your barriers. Second, it's to build relationships around your fitness. And third is to set personal SMART goals. So the most common barriers that we will face when trying to form the habit of exercise there's 4 main ones: time, money, knowledge, and physical limitations. So I want to talk about all of these 4 and give us some food for thought as we look to conquer these barriers. So the first one is time, and this is something that we all struggle with. I bet we all wish we had a little bit more time to exercise and to be physically fit. But I really want to emphasize this. It doesn't take a lot of time to make a huge impact. And this is the challenge that I have for you in addressing time as a barrier. If you can do what you're doing right now, but add 5 minutes 3 times a week and build off of that, you're going to be amazed at the difference that you can make just with 15 minutes a week. As you go, you're probably going to find that it's easier to exercise for longer than that. You may naturally want to do more than that. And eventually you're going to build up to the widely recognized general recommendation for people to get 150 minutes, an hour and a half of exercise every week. And I think that's a pretty good goal to set for most people. Secondly, money is an issue. So I know that there are a lot of fun activities that we may want to do that are just prohibitively expensive for us. We couldn't justify it when we have a family, we have kids, we have other bills to pay. But part of what I want to do with this show is to introduce a range of activities, a range of possibilities, and most of these things don't cost any money at all. You don't even need a gym membership. You can just set yourself up at home, in your room, in your basement, or you can go to the park and do these activities. So if you're aware of what you can do with no money, then you can conquer that barrier. Thirdly, the knowledge barrier. And this is a huge part of what PE with Coach Matt is all about. I want to give you the best information. What do we know about the best practices in exercise science, and how can you apply it to your life? If you watch this show and if you practice these movements, you will be taking part in a physical education and you will be better able to conquer that knowledge barrier. And then fourthly, physical limitations can be a barrier. Chronic pain in your joints and in your muscles. And this is the other part of what I'm trying to do with the PE with Coach Matt show. I want you to understand, given your condition, given your physical limitations, what can you do today? What can you safely do? And also, how do you address those physical limitations? What exercises can you include in your program to address those limitations? To do this, we need a precise way to measure our current condition. And then from there, we need a systematic approach to prescribing exercises based on that condition and based on the limitations that you're feeling. And that's what the balanced body system does. And I'm going to be explaining that extensively through these episodes. So the second key to forming a habit of exercise is to build a relationship around your fitness endeavors. And this is closely related to accountability, which is an often cited issue that people have, or a need that they have in order to form a habit of exercise. And this can be a positive feedback loop, especially when fun is factored in. And it usually is more fun when other people are involved. And I've seen this in action both as a youth and coming up through athletics, and also as a coach. I had tremendous PE coaching at my middle school at Kenilworth Junior High School in Petaluma, California. And then coming up, I had a strength and conditioning coach that got me into this profession, Rick Villarreal, who created an awesome community, playing football growing up, interscholastic sports. But then as a coach, working with Rick at Speed Factory, moving on to the Cambridge Athletic Club in Cambridge, Massachusetts, where I worked for several years. Also at CrossFit Newton, Massachusetts, with Gil Cohen. He created a tremendous fitness community there at his private gym. And now I'm seeing it at Ship City. Brandon McCoy, myself, Lisa Hall, and Rosina Tenenbaum are doing what we can to create a fitness community. And more than just us coaches, the members are probably what create the positive atmosphere more than anything. And I also see it through the Bath Rec, where the programs that they're running for youth are absolutely having a tremendous impact on this community. It's the friendships and the community connections that form through these physical activities. This transcends individual wellness, which, as a result, it actually makes the individual wellness journey so much less of an effort. The third and final key to forming a habit around exercise is the SMART goal setting process. You got to set goals. The goal setting process is key to achieving a balanced body. More specifically, considering SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. This will help you select fun and safe physical activities and will strengthen your resolve when barriers arise. But before setting goals, begin by considering the following questions. What activities do you love, physical or otherwise? What is your background in physical activity, and what have you done over the past 5 years, but also in the last year? What are the biggest barriers that you face in reaching your fitness goals, and do you have any physical limitations? What resources do you have? This could be gym or other exercise facility. This could be classes that you take, a sport league, equipment, coaches, or it could be media sites. And lastly, what do you envision for your physical activity journey going forward? So now, with a sense for the bigger picture, you will be able to better set SMART goals. Additionally, you may want to review some of the principles for exercise to have even better information toward setting your goals. For this, you should check out PE with Coach Matt and the Exercise Science and Culture show, where I talk all about these principles. The final consideration before finalizing your SMART goals is a movement assessment. Starting at level 1. These exercises are the most basic movements that can be done at home, in bed, or from a seated position. This program is therefore designed for those who are not able to stand unassisted. It is also great for seniors and those recovering from a serious injury. These movements can also be used by anybody else, including the young and the healthy. These movements can be beneficial as a light warm-up or cool-down first thing in the morning, before bed, or in the middle of the workday. The first thing you want to do is you want to complete the Level 1 movement assessment. The purpose of the assessment is to help you identify exercises that are appropriate to include in your routines. In that, they can be completed safely, but they can also help you progress. The Level 1 movement assessment consists of 4 exercises. If you are able to go through the movements pain-free, under control, and through a full range of motion, then you may include those movements and any associated prerequisite movements into your exercise routine. If you are almost able to complete the movement but not quite, you may include that movement into your routine but proceed with caution. But also, you're going to want to identify the fault in the movement and include movements recommended to address that fault, which are listed within the assessment movement in the Balanced Body online database. If you are not able to do the assessment movement, or if it causes any pain, then you will not want to add that movement into your routine. Instead, include the recommended movements given the location of the pain or the type of movement fault, which again, this is information that you can find on the Balanced Body System database. Before beginning the physical assessment, consider the type of exercise and how they are to be completed. Some of the movements are referred to as eccentric concentric exercises, where the body will move from one position to another. For these movements, there will be a 1-second pause at each end of the movement while moving gently and under control in between positions. Other movements are referred to isometrics, where a body position will be held throughout each bout of exercise. These bouts of exercise are referred to as sets. One complete eccentric concentric movement within a set is referred to as a repetition. The length of a set can be determined by the number of repetitions. Alternatively, and as will be most common throughout the Balanced Body System, the length of a set can be determined by a time duration. So for exercises in level 1, begin by performing one set of 30 seconds for each exercise, unless noted of otherwise in the exercise instructions. Once you are able to do a movement for that duration without pain, with control, and through the full range of motion, you may progress to adding a set, doing 2 sets of 30 seconds, and you would want to rest 30 seconds in between sets. Now, once you're able to do 2 sets, add a third set of 30 seconds with 30 seconds rest in between sets. And then once you are able to do 3 sets, you may go back down to 1 set, or you may look to progress from that exercise. So let's go over the Balanced Body System Level 1 Movement Assessment. So I have 4 movements for you, and the question is, can these movements be completed as described? Your possible answers are yes, almost, no, or pain. The first exercise is plank side A. So how to do this movement: you're going to roll to your side with your hips down and your upper body propped up by the elbows. You're going to keep the shoulders back and down. You're going to keep the head back and open up the chest. And then you're going to hold this position for 15 seconds. Hold that position tight. Great, now you're going to switch sides. Switch to the other side. Shoulders back and down, keep the head back, open up the chest, propped up on the elbows, and then now begin the other side. Three, 2, 1, and release. Now, some common movement faults. There are insufficient scapular retraction and depression. There is insufficient cervical and thoracic spine extension. And there is the inability to achieve a neutral spine, sagging your spine. Some common pain points: you could have felt pain in your shoulder, your hip, your elbow, or your lower back. Let's move on to the supine position to seated position assisted test. So you're going to use a bed ladder or a partner for assistance on this exercise. So get that set up. Now, from a supine position, you want to grasp the ladder or partner's hands. So you're on your back to start, and then you grasp the ladder or your partner's hands. From there, you're going to set your shoulders back and down. you're going to engage your abdominals. Then you're going to pull your body up until the torso is upright. And then you're going to gently return to the ground, and you're going to repeat this for 30 seconds. You want to take pictures at a supine position and at a seated position from a side view. Now continue your repetitions here. We're counting for 30 seconds. And now the common movement faults are insufficient scapular retraction and depression, and the inability to keep a neutral spine. Go for 3, 2, 1, and then you may rest. And the common pain points here, you could have felt pain in your shoulders, your neck, your lower back, or your hips. Moving on, we have the seated linear press to pull motion. So you want to come into a seated position, you want your hips on the seat, your feet on the floor, and you're going to begin with your thumbs touching your chest. You want to keep your chin tucked, you want to keep your shoulders rolled back and down, and you want to brace your abdominals. From there, you're going to extend your arms straight out from your shoulders. Next, you're going to return your thumbs to your chest, and you're going to repeat that motion for 15 seconds. Go ahead and start now. You're going to want to take photos at both ends of the motion from the side view and also from the front view. Continue on now for 3, 2, 1, and rest. So the common movement faults on this exercise are insufficient scapular retraction and depression, the inability to maintain a neutral spine, and incomplete range of motion at the shoulder. Some common pain points: you could have felt pain in your shoulder, your neck, your upper back, or your lower back. Lastly, the seated W pulls. So for this exercise, you're going to be in a seated position with the hips on the seat, your feet on the floor. You're going to want to tuck your chin back, you want to roll the shoulders back and down, and you want to brace your abdominals. From there, you're going to rotate at the shoulder, pulling the arms back into a W shape. From there, you're going to relax the arms back to the starting position, and you're going to repeat that exercise for 30 seconds. Go ahead and begin now. You're going to want to take a photo at the back end of the motion from a frontal view. The common movement faults are insufficient range of motion, deviating from a 45-degree angle of the elbow and shoulder, insufficient scapular retraction and depression, insufficient cervical and thoracic spine extension, and now you can rest. And then the last common movement fault is asymmetry at the shoulders. The common pain points are the upper back, the shoulders, and the neck. Great, you have completed the level 1 assessment. So now go to thebalancedbodysystem.wordpress.com for recommended exercises to address the movement faults and pain points, and also for video demonstrations. For any other questions, you can contact me, Coach Matt, at matthines25@gmail.com. Also connect with me on Facebook at Fitness with Coach Matt. Coach Matt Hines with you here, and today I'm going to take you through the level 1 workout routine in the Balanced Body System. So I'm just going to guide you through this workout. It should be a lot of fun, very simple exercises here, but let's just get moving and we'll feel amazing. For more information on this workout, you'll want to go to thebalancedbodysystem.wordpress.com, and you can subscribe to the website, and you can get all the information relevant to this routine and the rest of the Balanced Body System. And for any other questions, you can contact me, matthines25@gmail.com, or you can connect with me on Facebook at Fitness with Coach Matt. So let's begin. The first exercise you're going to do is going to be from a seated position. You want to sit with your hips on the seat, your feet on the floor, and you'll begin with your thumbs touching your chest. This exercise, by the way, is the seated linear press-pull motion. Now from here, you are going to tuck your chin, you're going to roll your shoulders back and down, and you're going to brace your abdominals. Then, you'll want to extend your arms straight out from the shoulders, and then you're going to return the thumbs back to touch the chest. And you repeat this for 30 seconds, okay? So are you ready? Okay, go ahead and begin. And rest. For the next exercise, stay in this seated position, and we're going to do some W pulls. So again, you're sitting with your hips on the seat, your feet on the floor, and then you're going to again tuck your chin back, roll your shoulders back and down, and brace your abdominals. From there, you are going to rotate at the shoulder, and you are going to pull your arms back into a W shape. You should be squeezing your shoulder blades back, and your elbows and your wrists should be pulled back. And from there, you're going to relax your arms back down to the starting position, and then you're going to repeat this exercise for 30 seconds. Are you ready? Okay, go ahead and begin. And now rest. Good work. We're going to move right on to the seated arm circles. Again, you're in the seated position, sitting with your hips on the seat, with your feet on the floor. Now you're going to want to tuck the chin back, you want to roll the shoulders back and down and brace the abdominals just like the previous exercises. But this time, you're going to extend your arms out to the side. From there, you're going to rotate at the shoulders. You'll be drawing circles with your hands. And you're going to repeat this for 30 seconds. Okay, go ahead and begin. Three, 2, 1, and now you can rest. Relax your arms. You're going to remain in the seated position for the next exercise, which will be arm curls. Again, check to see that your hips are on the seat, your feet are on the floor, you're rolling your shoulders back and down, you're tucking your chin, you're bracing your abdominals. Begin with the elbows extended and the hands are down outside of the hips. Clench your fists, and then begin bending the elbows, which will bring the hands up to the shoulders. From there, you're going to gently return to the starting position and repeat for 30 seconds. Are you ready? Okay, go ahead and begin. Three, 2, 1, and rest. Nicely done. We're going to remain in the seated position for the next exercise. Seated lateral step in and outs. So again, sit the hips on the seat, put the feet on the floor, and the feet will be together. Then roll the shoulders back and down, tuck the chin, and brace the abdominals. Then you'll want to lift one leg up from the hip. You'll rotate it to the side, which will be separating the legs, and you'll place the foot down in a wider position. From there, you're going to lift the foot and place the feet back together. And then next, you're going to do the same thing on the other leg, and you will continue like this, alternating legs. Are you ready? We're going to go for 30 seconds. Go ahead and begin. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Very good. You're going to next go to a supine position. You're going to lie flat on your back. And from that position, you're going to flex to extend the hips and knees. And you're going to raise your arms overhead as far as possible. And then squeeze the hips and reach the arms as far as you can without any pain. and you're gonna hold that position for 30 seconds. Are you ready? Okay, go ahead and begin. Three, two, one, and now you can just relax. Return your arms down by your side. The next exercise will also come from a supine position. This will be supine iso core bracing. So you've already done quite a bit of bracing of your core in previous exercises from a seated position, but now we're going to focus just on that part of the motion. Can you contract all of the muscles around your lower spine? So you're gonna lie on your back. You can have your hands touching your abdominals so you can actually feel the contraction. From there, you're gonna tuck the chin back. You're gonna roll the shoulders back and down, and now you're gonna brace the abdominals, flexing all of those muscles around the hips and the spine. And you'll also flex the legs. Okay, are you ready? Go ahead and squeeze that position. Hold it tight. 3, 2, 1, and now you can just relax. You will remain in a supine position for the next exercise, which will be some knees bent knee lifts. So you're going to bend the knees and you're going to have your heels down close to your hips. You're lying on your back. Now we're going to get ready to lift those knees. So you're going to brace those abdominals, and then you're going to lift the feet off of the floor until the upper leg is perpendicular to the ground. And then from there, you can control the feet back down to the ground. And you're going to repeat this motion for 30 seconds, okay? So go ahead and begin. And relax. You can extend the knees out so you're on a supine position flat on the ground. We're going to now roll over into a prone position. So you're on your back, and now you're going to use momentum from your legs and your shoulders, and you're going to quickly roll. So you go onto your side, and you're going to continue that momentum to roll into a prone position where your chest is down on the ground. You're going to reverse that roll, and then you're going to repeat that motion for 30 seconds. Are you ready? Okay, go ahead. Okay, relax. Good work on those. We've got one more exercise. This is a supine with knees bent hip flex. So you make sure you're on your back to start. And then you're going to have your knees bent and your feet are on the floor. The heels are on the floor. From there, you're going to flex the legs to press the feet into the ground as if to lift the hips, though the hips will not lift. And then you're going to relax. And then you're going to squeeze again, and then you're going to relax, and you're going to continue this for 30 seconds. Go ahead. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Excellent work. You have completed the level 1 workout routine. You may add a second set if you are able. And if you're able to do that, then you can add a third set. And then if you're able to do that, you may consider moving on from the level 1 exercises. With any more questions or for more information about this routine, you can message me, Matt Hines at 25@gmail.com. Find me on Facebook, Fitness with Coach Matt, and also check out the website, subscribe to the website, thebalancedbodysystem.wordpress.com, which has all the information about this routine and many others. Lastly for today, let's loop this back to habit forming and exercise. So there's really 3 things that are really important that you'll need to do in order to better position yourself to form a habit around exercise. You need to identify what are your barriers, you need to build relationships around your fitness, and you need to set some smart goals. We know that time, money, knowledge, and physical limitations can be the major barriers, but hopefully today gave you some food for thought on how to conquer those. Given that building relationships is so important to building a habit around exercise, reach out today. Connect with your friends and family, tell them what you want to do, ask if they'd like to join you, and also consider joining a fitness community that already exists. You can come on over to Ship City and join us. I would love to work with you, and you'll see once you get into the door, that's going to be the hardest part, but once you get in there, you're going to feel the atmosphere and how positive it is, and you'll never want to leave. And then there's the SMART goal setting process, which I explained my process earlier in the episode, so rewind this and check it out. I really encourage you to go through the SMART goal setting process today. I think it will really help to get you in the mindset to make a change and to make it a habit. So that's it for episode 7 of PE with Coach Matt. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I will look forward to seeing you next time.